I have just broken a spell. Guys, I have just broken my own spell and confronted the fear of my own magic. Now, in this episode, I'm going to talk about why so many people that are drawn to spirituality, drawn to healing, that are developing their spiritual and psychic gifts, or even practitioners and teachers themselves, always feel a deep, almost paralyzing fear when it comes to sharing their gifts with the world. Now, I've spoken about this before in my own journey, and every new layer that I move through in my own spiritual journey and in my own spiritual business journey, it opens up more and more expansion. But before that expansion comes a whole lot of fear. It comes with paralyzing fear almost. And this is what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to talk about the historical, cultural, and personal roots of this fear. And from the shadows of persecution and the weight of societal judgment, why stepping into our power as creators and with our own magic can be so daunting. This is the crazy thing. It's helping people to realize their authenticity and their magic and opening up their own spiritual gifts and their connection with the divine and themselves is what I do, right? But as I said, every single level of my breakthrough and my growth with what I am here to share with the world, i.e. my products, my services, every time that I go to launch something new or that I go to create something new, I am paralyzed with fear, and I have to kind of shift through that and transform whatever is blocking me and whatever is limiting me. And this is the beautiful thing about having psychic gifts, guys, is because this is what I do for my clients every single day. And this is what I can also do for myself. I am able to, when an emotion comes up, when I feel the fear, I can connect with my psychic senses and understand where this comes from, what this is, and what I need to do to transform that energetically. And this is something that you can do as well, because opening up your psychic gifts, opening up your intuition, you have the tools to be able to navigate your life, navigate any blocks or challenges or limitations, and get the messages and the insight, and also facilitate the healing that you need to move past anything to get to your next layer, your next level of abundance, your next level of success, and ultimately what you're truly here to share with the world. And this is why I'm so passionate about helping people to step into their own authentic power, step into their own purpose, their own path, and their own magic, because you have a secret sauce that no one else has, and you are honestly here to share that with the world. But of course, as a spiritual teacher and healer, I have to walk the talk. And it's I cannot teach on anything that I haven't had huge initiations on. So, of course, spiritual growth, and of course, sharing my gifts, and of course, leveling up to more of my own magic is just a constant theme, speaking my truth. And this is what I'm going to talk about today, because whether you're struggling with self-doubt, whether you're struggling with fear of judgment, the responsibility of guiding others, hopefully this episode is going to empower you to overcome those blocks and step confidently into your role as a leader, not just in your life, but in your own spiritual growth. And as I said, that could be, it doesn't matter where you are on your own spiritual and healing journey. It doesn't matter if you are just at the start of it and you've started to explore meditation or read some books, or, are interested in different esoteric topics. Or if you're actually a fellow practitioner and a fellow healer, we all have different levels of initiation when it comes to our spiritual journey. And as I said, not everyone will go on this deep exploration of self, of the universe. Not everyone has chosen as a soul to come back into this world and do that. Some people will stay unconscious and they will die unconscious, and then they will have to experience their own karma and, understand at a soul level where they didn't grow. So again, I really wanted to share my story around the program that I have been, let's say, guided to create. Because I have my beautiful one-on-one clients and they are just amazing. It feels so safe for me to be in that space and channel my magic and channel my woo-woo for my one-on-one clients. But the next phase and the next step of my journey as a spiritual entrepreneur is to build out programs. I am being guided to be able to share my gifts with the masses. And that means being able to do that at scale over and above the amazing one-to-one work that I do with my clients. And this is really a story of stepping out of this spiritual closet. And I've spoken about this before, if anyone has listened, about me first taking a step out of my 7-figure corporate business that I owned for 7.5 years. It was a digital media marketing and technology recruitment company, and fully leaving that behind and trusting my intuition to move into my spiritual work full time. Like, that was such a huge shift for me. And I went through so many deaths and reawakenings with that experience. And I still go through them every level and layer. I went through a death and rebirth of even launching the website, through to, really promoting myself as, being like spiritual. And although that was still always an element of me when I was in corporate, and of course there was quite a lot of my different clients and candidates and stuff that I would talk to about this stuff, it's nowhere near the level that I go to now. So I still had a lot of fear and shame about fully stepping out of that spiritual closet and fully claiming my own magic, because there's probably part of me that was like, the people in my audience, the people that I used to work with, the people that used to be my clients are going to think I'm crazy or woo-woo. And honestly, this is so common. Like, so many people that are exploring their spiritual side, they can feel so alone. Like, tell me if this resonates with you. You could feel like you're on an island by yourself and no one understands you. Like, unless you already are a practitioner, then for sure you're going to have other practitioners and healers that understand you, get your vibe. You can speak about all the crazy shit that happens and you've experienced. That's amazing. And I'm so fortunate to now be in that place where I have other beautiful practitioners and healers and therapists that I can call my best friends. And it really is so beautiful to have those people around me now, because it's like, I just get you, you get me, you understand me. And for a lot of people that are on their spiritual and healing journeys, it can be a very, very lonely place, because when you start to awaken, you don't want to do the things that you used to do. Like, the things that you used to do unconsciously, everything just shifts. The things, the people, the habits, it's like your world just shifts and changes. And honestly, you've probably felt like you kind of didn't belong, or you're kind of the black sheep of your family anyway growing up. I feel like most people that take this journey, or predestined to take this spiritual journey, have at some point felt that way, felt like they didn't truly belong in some way, felt maybe even you didn't even belong on this earth, because Jesus, I felt like that too. But it's really important, as I said, to find your tribe. But you are going to go through different layers of initiation when you start to develop your spiritual gifts, when you start to go down this journey. And of course, then if you end up sharing that with other people, if you end up then working in this space as a practitioner in some way, it's like new level, new devil. My amazing business coach Haley would always coin this phrase, and I absolutely love it. It's like new level, new devil. In my business, the next or bigger or different things that I do that I am here to channel and create that is so authentically and uniquely me, it's like new layers. It's like where we are now, it feels safe to hold that space. It feels safe to hold that energy. It feels safe to hold the services and the clients that I have. But when I'm creating something new, it's like all this other fear comes up, because for most people that are exploring spirituality, or most people that go into this as a profession like myself, we have had many experiences where we were told that our authentic truth, our truest expression, our magic was not wanted, welcome, was unsafe. And this comes from like a myriad of places, from your childhood, from society around, like even in the 70s, psychics and stuff were just coined as crazy. In history, people were sent into asylums for seeing things. We've got the witch hunts. Like, these are all real things that a lot of people that are here to explore their spiritual and healing side in this lifetime will have experienced. And even if they haven't experienced that in their past lives, by sure their ancestors will. And that can get passed down the generational line. So when I've had resistance to creating this program, right? My first program, the Rebel Psychic School, I realized that I was just watering down the woo-woo, watering down the spiritual piece, because like there was part of me that wanted to make it accessible for everyone. And I work with clients on so many different issues, be that their relationships, be that business, be that money. And I mean, the undercurrent of how we solve all these problems and shift through any blocks and get the guidance that we need is all because of my spiritual and psychic gifts and my healing gifts, right? Like that is the secret sauce. That's a solution to how I get the results I get from myself and my clients. But maybe I was kind of afraid of just coining it as like, it is like all spiritual. So I've gone through like a whole identity shift around truly sharing my woo. And like I said, it can be scary, because we've gone through so much challenges and so many fears around actually being who we are and standing in our power and standing in our own authentic truth and expression. And this is a big reason of why I wanted to create this program, because I want to be able to give people the power and the tools that I have been able to create over the years that gives me access to my truth and my expression. But I also wanted to make sure that the program had a whole piece around removing and identifying the blocks and limitations, because you're going to have them, guys. You are going to, when you're developing your psychic gifts, when you start channeling, when you start speaking to spirit, your guides, your angels, you are 100% going to come up with doubts in your abilities, fears, limitations, insecurities, all the things. It's like learning anything new, but I feel like it's especially potent because of the taboo and the sting and the stigma that, through history and tradition, spirituality and healing has had. Being psychic has had, being a healer has had. So I just want to preface that this is why I have really sat with the creation of this program for such a long time. Like, I feel I've been kind of dipping and talking about this program for such a long time already, but it's just not been ready, because I also had to, go through my own next level of block clearing around the next level for me, and it is the creation of this program. And the cool thing is, like, I have found and unblocked so many of the things that were holding me back, the inherited beliefs that I found out that I was holding from my mom. And it's so funny, because when I was tuning into, I was like, okay, what's blocking me here? What is this? And it was a fear around my own magic, and then a fear around creation, and then a fear around responsibility. And I likened it to what I always say to my friends that have kids. I'm like, oh my God, having kids is such a big responsibility. It was so similar for me, the energy of that it made sense because it's creation. It's like I'm birthing this program that is so uniquely me. It's filled with my own codes and my own DNA and my own magic. And that's exactly what happens when you birth a child into this world. It's creation. So like I had to clear so much around like my ability to create my own magic, and carrying some beliefs from my mother's side, which, you know, as the female lineage of creation, you know, there's no more potent creator than the one that can give birth to the feminine, you know, the mother. So I unblocked some limiting beliefs that I was carrying from my mom, who has a lot of fears, who has a lot of worries, who, you know, for so much of her life believes that she can't. And this was a really interesting one, honestly, when I tapped into this belief and I'm like, I can't? I was like, why is that a belief of mine? Considering like all the wild stuff that I've done in my life, all the places that I've expanded myself, that I've grown, that I've thrown myself into, you know, my other business, I moved to the other side of the world from the UK to Australia to launch my other business. And I'd never built a business before, but I was like, I'm doing this. So I always had this level of bravery. So it was so interesting that this one belief came up. And I was like, that's not my belief. You know, like I don't believe that I can't do many things, because I do a lot of things. I've tried a lot of things. I've achieved a lot of things, and I've been successful at a lot of things. So like that belief didn't fully resonate with me, and that's when I tuned in. I was like, oh my god, this is my mom's, this is the mother wound, this is the ancestral thing that I've been carrying. And this is what I'm saying, guys, like a lot of the spiritual blocks that we have come from our ancestors, and it sure did for me. But, you know, not just our ancestors, they can inherit from past lives. They can inherit from cultural conditioning. You know, if we grew up in like a certain religion that have particular viewpoints on spirituality or on God or whatever it is, like that all can impact our ability to create, or our ability to trust our own selves, trust our own truth, trust our own magic, and trust our ability to, create something new or step into the unknown. And I see this so much. The other thing that came up was the fear of responsibility, which I do want to talk about, actually, because this is something that came up for me the other day. And I've gone into past lives where, and to preface this, guys, right? No, you can go into past life where you've been a victim of something, and you can experience a past life where you have maybe been a perpetrator of something, and it doesn't mean that you're inherently bad or you did something bad. It's like, as a soul, we incarnate in each lifetime because we want to learn the full human conditioning, and that comes with the lights and the darks, the shadow and the love. So if you've done something great in this lifetime, then be rest assured you've probably done something shitty in another lifetime. So I always had, when I moved into my spiritual work, I always had this like innate sense of responsibility that whatever I was doing and however I was here to be of service, I always had such a big feeling of like, I take this so seriously because I know how much it can impact someone's life, so i.e. my clients. And I really had this deep sense of, wanting to be so responsible with my gifts, wanting to be so responsible with my magic, because I knew how it could impact someone's life so much. You know, my gifts and my magic are here to truly transform lives, and they have for myself and my clients. But also I just had like this, I guess on the shadow side, like kind of a bit of a fear of the responsibility too, right? And again, of course, like I've gone back into past lives and cleared some past lives around that, because there were some lifetimes, one in Egypt specifically, that I accidentally misused my magic and my power, and it led to some severe consequences. And it felt like a naivety. It wasn't anything that was like malicious, but I probably have done something malicious in a past life, to be honest, because again, this is what our soul is here to explore. You know, if you have a lifetime as wealthy, you probably have a lifetime as poor. If you have a lifetime of being murdered, you probably murdered someone else. So like, this is just, again, the duality of nature of being a human, of being a soul, right? So again, this is another thing that can come up as we are growing, as we are, for me, it was creating this program because it was like a new thing and it felt so big that I really was cock blocking myself from fully trusting my own magic, fully trusting my ability to create and channel this program, because I had a fear of responsibility. I was semi-afraid of being so vulnerable and sharing these spiritual teachings that were so personal to me, because yeah, that does carry a deep sense of responsibility for me. You know, like the fear of getting it wrong, leading others astray, or not being fully prepared to guide others on their spiritual journeys. Like that was a resistance that I had created from this particular past life, that I ended up going into and understanding the lessons that were there for me and being able to clear that energy. But yeah, it's so fascinating to be able to go into the things that are actually blocking us from having that next level of success. And this is really honestly where I just wanted to share the resistance that can come up when we are going and stepping into our next level of purpose, and when we are exploring our spiritual gifts. So I guess for those that are called to share their own teachings, that are called to share their own spiritual experiences, overcoming your fears often, honestly, always requires like such deep inner work, healing ancestral wounds, healing past life wounds, and reprogramming limiting beliefs. Like the work that I do and the work that I know I'm here to channel into this Rebel Psychic School, Practical Magic for Rebel Souls, it is all about reclaiming your power. It's all about reclaiming your truth, your wisdom that's been suppressed, and recognizing that this is actually part of your life path. You know, trusting that you are fully supported on this journey by your higher self, by your spirits, by yourself. And this is why this program has never really felt ready, because it's like the spirit has said to me and has shown me, okay, you want to build this, you want to create something that is so authentically true for you, you want to fully help people step into their magic and into their purpose and into their growth. Okay, well, you got to grow more too. You got to go through your next level of initiation. You've got to uncover the next level of blocks that you have about fully sharing your spiritual teachings to the world, to the masses. Because like I said, you know, doing one-to-one work is safe, but creating a whole program that is going to be experienced and shared with the masses, that are my own unique teachings that have been channeled through me, is a fucking vulnerable place. Like anyone that's doing anything new and sharing something that is so personal to them. But I feel like there's just, as I said, there's just even this deeper level when it comes to sharing things of a spiritual nature, just because of the conditioning, because of the programming, because of the historical context that many of us are still carrying as wounds within our system. So, my final words, guys, is that no matter where you are in your spiritual journey, no matter where you are in developing your own intuitive gifts, your own healing gifts, your ability to connect with your own intuition, to uncover your own authenticity, your own truth, your own magic, to honestly lead a soul-led life, to lead you into your purpose and your authentic path, wherever you are on that journey, then just know that if you're feeling resistance, if you're feeling doubt, fear, not trusting your ability to do the thing that you've come here to do, to create that new thing, to create that business, to create that product, to just share your knowledge with others, just know that you're not alone. And know this is part of your growth journey. This is part of your spiritual initiation. Because stepping into your purpose isn't an easy job. Otherwise, everyone would be living the life of their dreams. Everyone would be doing the thing that lights them up, would be living a life that is so intuitively led, that is so unique to them. But is everyone doing that? No, they're not. So it takes so much bravery to be vulnerable. It takes so much bravery to step into your magic, to want to live your life authentically, to want to make conscious choices, to want to make a difference in other people's lives. But also know it's going to come up. You're going to face challenges and roadblocks, and there is going to be healing work that needs to be done. And this is why this experience has been so amazing for me, and why the Rebel Psychic School hasn't fully been ready to be birthed into the world yet, because I still needed to go through a next level of initiation. I still needed to integrate these learnings. I still needed to embody this wisdom around the next level and layer of blocks that I'm experiencing, and that my students and my clients are going to be experiencing. So I'm just so fortunate to be able to have these experiences, as challenging as they have been, and as frustrating as they have been, and how much I've questioned myself about why I haven't created this program yet. But it's all in divine timing, guys. All in divine timing, because sometimes things are just not ready yet. And I trust that. So on a final farewell, farewell and bye-bye, I just want to invite you, if you are on your spiritual journey, if you are on your healing journey, if you do want to understand yourself at a deeper level and awaken your spiritual gift, if you do want to step into your purpose, if you do want to heal your relationships, move forward in your career, your business, whatever that dream is of yours, whatever you have that passion for, that you know is part of your path, and you want to remove any blocks, you want to get that deeper understanding, you want to be able to channel your higher self for wisdom, for knowledge, for guidance, then there's so many ways to work with me. You can work with me in one-on-one sessions. You can work with me in my 3-month mentorship programs, which are just such a beautiful container and space. The magic that happens with those spaces, my long-term mentorships, are just, it just fills me with so much joy. I cannot even explain. And of course, the Rebel Psychic School is coming soon, guys. It is coming soon. She feels so much juicier now. She feels so ready to be birthed and created into this world just for you guys. I also have different masterclasses and workshops as well that you can check out if you go onto my website, or I'll put all of the links here. And don't forget to subscribe. And if you liked this episode, then leave a comment, ask me a question. And if you want to connect and chat, then drop me a message on the old Instagram, and I would love to see you there. Anyway, sending you the most beautiful, magical AF day, guys. You got this.